Yeah, you done know. Bless up. This is Blind Visionary, aka the Conduit, back with another blind review. Today I'm going to be talking about the latest release from CRIMEAPPLE, aka Consistent Crime. This is the latest in the YDFWC series, YDFW3, YDFWC3, I mean, my bad. Do not kill me. Anyway, this is a surprising release because of one main reason. Like how Tyler the Creator and a couple other artists been doing the little DJ drama thing. My boy Crime choose to do DJ Clue. So it was really surprising that when I popped on this project, first thing I hear is followed by yeah. I was like, whoa, shit. It's a Clue mixtape. This is dope for nostalgia reasons. And the griminess match it all the way through because like back in the day when you used to get that crack, aka a Clue tape or any other DJ that was hot back in, you know what I'm talking about. If you listening to this review, watching this review, then you're listening to the type of vein music that I came upon and that you know what a damn Clue tape is. Hence him doing that. But remember back in the day how a Clue tape used to have a crap load of chatting all over it, especially the dope song, and it used to piss you the hell off. Well, this is at a super minimum. It just kind of have that stamp that make you know is a Clue tape. You know, it put that, you put that stamp on your dope to kind of make people know this is what this is. Now, at the beginning, I said consistent crime. That's an understatement with this brother. The man just pop out of nowhere and just drop in dopeness after dopeness after dopeness. And I think this is like his infinite victory lap. And this is a continuation of that. And there's a reason this brother is like probably my favorite out of all the independent underground hardcore hip hop people right now in that lane because he has the most potential, even more than Benny and Westside, and even more than Stove God Cooks, to be a crossover star while staying completely authentic to who he is and what he does. And the man's variation and range is extremely insane because you combine that with the wit, the confidence in who he is, the personality, the hilarious humor and sarcasm, and the fact that, okay, him talk a bunch of shit that is warranted, and you can tell that, okay, him not just selling the listener a fantasy. This is this brother 150%. Like, the authenticity blares through the speakers and is unquestionable. And whereas you could say, okay, all him do is talk shit and talk about him past life and semi-street shit, intertwined with a lot of mentioning of sexual and innuendos with women, then you say, oh my God, this is over exaggerated. But on further investigation and listening, this brother's undoubtable authenticity just shines through. And he's at home in the realm of the beats that he picks. And his flow variation and his cadence is very modern this generation and can appeal to this audience that is kind of very, what's the word, limited as far as their palette, when it comes to being receptive to boom bap and a certain style of hip hop. Like, I think this brother has the ability and the potential to cut through to that particular demographic of people if he continues on the path that he's on, because he just keep getting better and better and better, more confident, more funny, and is like, he's one of those MCs who stays in and out the pocket at the same time. And his flow is familiar, but it's always like he's doing stuff to experiment with it. It's like you're getting a meal from him that's familiar, but he's always making various tweaks to it that has you as the listener going, oh shit, I'm being caught off guard, I'm being surprised, but in a good surprise. And in some cases, you're laughing. In some cases, you're going, yo, that's dope. In some cases, you're going, yo, that's brilliant, as far as the way he tapped into certain things and made certain pop culture references. So is grimy, exotic, true confident swag. And it's not like West Side Gun neither. And the thing about this project is, speaking of West Side Gun, dude has kind of expanded his roster. And I think Crime Apple would fit right the hell in with the Griselda dudes right now because they're on the same wavelength. But also, in the same breath, I don't know if crime needs them. I mean, but also, I think like when you have a force that's like giant from other forces that are smaller but super strong, you get a super strong force. So, I mean, that could be a good look. I don't know, but either way, like Crime Apple's future is bright, and this release is just like another stamp in a long going couple of years of just bam, 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 consistent, just banger after banger. And then don't even get me started on this dude's features. Like, brother, have it and then some. So I don't have no problems with this album. I'm just gonna take this off right now. Like, on one hand, I have a bias, but on the other hand, the bias don't have nothing to do with this review because I would still be completely honest. And anybody who knows me knows that I've been honest with people who I'm fans of, despite supposing to be biased, and it might piss them off. So in this particular case, I'm being completely honest, despite me being a fan of the dude and doing this review. So with that out of the way, this is a non-stop, non-skippable shit talking with one exception. Well, one exception, because the other exception is not just straight shit talking, is still shit talking about women. So yeah, but the one dimensionalness is such a brilliant one dimension. Like, okay, so for example, if you have a prime cut of steak, are you gonna be mad because you only have that one prime cut of steak? Are you gonna say, okay, give me some minute steak and some stupid ass Kraft mac and cheese and an old ass potato, and yeah, I might have more variety, but it's not gonna be the quality of that prime cut of steak. And sometimes, as the listener, you just want some good top tier shit. And right out the gate, this album from start to finish delivers and then some. Some things are worth the listen, some things are worth the purchase. This is worth the purchase. And this brother's fans probably bringing the suit numbers. I mean, like, he's balling for a reason. You know, like, you can tell when a rapper kind of just fronting, fake it till you make it. That's not the case with this dude. This dude has attained success through doing the kind of hip hop that you're not supposed to attain the kind of success that he has off of. So he's dropping breadcrumbs, industry breadcrumbs for people. Be yourself and be good at it. And be good at picking beats that complement you and that your audience gonna rock with. And also, the main issue is I don't think this dude has the issue to like a lot of things that underground rappers have a problem with is having an audience that's not a sausage fest. This brother, with time, especially overseas, with the fact that he's bilingual and he has this big, big, big Spanish community, like, sky's the limit. And then to the stars beyond that, like, the blind man, is going to see this guy's future. Like, I foresee A lot of good shit for this brother. But anyway, enough of praising this brother. I don't want to go on too long with the review, so it's time to get into the segment where I break down song for song. And this is going to be one of the cases where, okay, you know what you're getting with CRIMEAPPLE. I described it in the beginning. So for the most part, if there are key moments that needs to be pointed out, I'll do that. But for the most part, I'm just going to go on the different vibes and sonical feelings that I get from each song. Starting with the intro, which is Whitney. And like I said, off the gate, you hear the DJ Clue laugh, followed by look at DJ Clue intro, sorry. And the beat sounds like something, when it starts, you would hear, hey yo, boom, 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 boom. But no, you hear CRIMEAPPLE and him sounding as confident as ever. The rhyme scheme through this song, through the first verse, is the same thing, go straight through. Then I think it's the same thing, go straight through on the second verse. I don't remember, but I believe it is, but don't quote me. So your overall beat has some busy, nice drums with like an undertone of like a scratchy melody that sound like it's an instrument in a drawer down in a dirty basement. It's a nice opener. And you're like, yeah, this is some grimy shit. But then it gets even more grimy with the second song, 25 Hours. Like this beat is like, if some sort of demon is like dragging your face along a gritty wall with broken bottles on it. This is what the beat sound like. And you think somebody's gonna come on and be like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot you this, I'm gonna blow up this and something. No. On comes Mr. Confident Crime talking his shit again. And this is a common theme through not just this release, but all of his release. I highly recommend anybody who hasn't to go back to his vast back catalog. You will not be surprised. I don't speak very highly of anything and anybody unless it is warranted. You should know me, and if you don't, eventually you will see a pattern where anything I say is well earned, and you can do your own research and figure it out for yourself. But yeah, the darkness, the griminess, it's like a really, really dirty ass Maserati driving down the street. This is how I can describe this brother's sound. Like, you know what the hell it is when you see it, right? It's a Maserati, but it's dirty as fuck. Like it's filthy and it's shit, but it's like, okay. And I think that's his attraction to women. Like women is like, oh, okay. I see a little bit of curves around the edges, but it's a Maserati. You're damn right I'm getting in that bitch. So yeah, that kind of is a thing and a way to describe his appeal and why I keep emphasizing that the star quality and the star power is there and then some. So then we'll move on to track 3, which is Sabertooth, which is once again same shit, but in a way is kind of like one of those songs that you would hear Benny, Conway, and maybe Stove God Cooks on. You know, it's like something that come off of What Would Sheen Gun Do. That's what it reminds me of. But it makes the distinguished difference by the fact that CRIMEAPPLE is none of those MCs mentioned. And he brings his little additional swag and all the type of shit that comes with him to it, that makes it not just, oh, somebody else doing a little cheap, less impressive, low budget West Side Gun, Conway, or Benny impression. This is him having the same vibe, cut from the same cloth as Griselda, but being his own type of shit. I mean, this is what I think this Sabertooth song signifies out of all. Well, there's another song that is on the same parallel with that, but as far as out the gate, yeah, that's it. So then you move on to the next song, which is Gasoline Jump Shots featuring Daniel San. Now, Daniel San did his thing, and when you're going on a song with CRIMEAPPLE, you kind of not have to just hold your own, you have to hold your own, and you have to hold your presence. Otherwise, even if you have some dope rhymes, you're going to get overshadowed. And Daniel San managed to do that, so kudos to him. You know, you go toe-to-toe on a track with Crime, then you're doing something right. So on this eerie serial killer sneaking in your backyard sounding beat with some classic boom bap drums and like a eerie sound going through it, like is intense anticipation type vibes. Your Crime coming after Daniel's Son verse, and it like they're nothing alike as far as their rhyme style. And that can also be tricky when it comes to having a collaboration gel. And in this case, luckily, it works, and it works well. So another song in the can. I told you, there is no throwaways on this shit. None. Zero. So now we have Driving Miss Daisy. The somewhat no drums beat. Yeah, you can say that. It kind of has a little, I mean, they've been worse. Like their no drum beats were just a loop with some music that annoyed the hell out of me. But this actually has a back and forth that doesn't make it sound monotonous, and it actually sounds like some RZA shit, so I'll allow it. And if CRIMEAPPLE not talking about his success and how well he's doing by actually working hard, it's not like a nah thing. It's a more like a, look man, this is what can happen if you're confident in yourself, you put out some quality product and you be consistent, you will be successful. And he's basically saying that, and he's like also saying, you know, pum pum come with the territory. But I also don't forget where I come from. So there's this mixture, this dynamic, combined with this super confident MC who's just talking shit from wall to ceiling to floor to outside to in the dustpan to up on the fucking top floor. It's like, yeah, all over the place, but just very focused on the vibe and the sound and what it's supposed to do and who it's supposed to be for and who it will be for once people discover this greatness. So remember that song I was talking about where I said it kind of is just like, oh my God, the Dirty Maserati. This is it right here, Pennies. Start off with a Clue thing again, but like, this is like, we in the trenches, we in some serious rotted trouble, but we don't care because we're bigger trouble than the rotted trouble we're in. That's the vibe we get from this beat. You know, it would actually be something that would be dope in some sort of movie score. It's very eerie, very simplistic, but just dark as all hell. And then once again, you have this swag brother coming in, completely yin and yang, this disgusting, filthy ass beat. You know, still keeping it street. I ain't on no punk shit, but talking him shit from song to song to song to song, from sound palette to sound palette to sound palette, and everything is along the same theme, but it also has a variety, and it's also not stale, and it also doesn't sound like old nigga shit. The vibe is not old head shit. It's not, I wouldn't call this traditional hip hop, even though it is built on the foundations of that. This is very modern and current and significant to the culture, both underground, in the middle, and in the mainstream. So let's see if I'm completely wrong, but I doubt that I am. So moving on to the next song, NWK CD something, I don't know, whatever. A bunch of codes that if I probably say it out loud, there'll be an explosion or something. But this is probably, I would say, the weakest song on the album, if there's even such a thing. And it's not that it's weak, it's just like, okay, I would want to hear Tyler the Creator more over this beat. And even though Crime does his best and he doesn't do any less of a good job than he does on any of the rest of the songs, I just kind of find that, in my personal opinion, the beat just takes away from as much as he tries to do with it. But I still rock with it, and it definitely fits into the overall whole package. So yeah, you don't know. Anyway, DJ Camilo at Barcode. Now this is the pimp song. As far as the beat, is a groovy, pimped out, East Coast, but Bay Area at the same time vibe beat. Perfect playground for the Crime to talk his shit and be his most braggadocious and, flamboyant on the fact that, yeah man, this is me, take it or leave it. And if you don't take it, your girl going to take it. And there are a lot of dope shits that he said on this. Like, for example, in one song, him actually flip the flavor in your ear Biggie verse and kind of make it his own. And like the standout line is, "Don't be mad, Amazon is hiring." And like in this particular case, like he says some shit at the end where he's like, yeah, he wants to go home with this girl. And she's like, all right, well, can my friend come too? And he's like, all right, yeah, make the blonde know. A couple of minutes later, I was at home playing the bongos. Now, I knew what he meant right away. But for the uninitiated, he had to explain it. And the way he explained it, you actually see the visuals in your head at the same time, and then you get the sound effects. So yeah, the blind pimp approves of this masterpiece of a song from a masterpiece mixtape album. I don't know what the fuck they call this, but it's just dope. So then we have the moment where, if you question this brother self-assurance and confidence and cadence and just ultimate, yo, I know who I am, I know what I can do, and I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability, is this damn song right here. Get it, baby. So this song is him talking about exactly what the name says. You're gonna get it, baby. You're gonna get lyrics. Him talk to the gal, you're gonna get some body. Him saying, yeah, you're gonna get some shit in the street. It's like all sorts of stuff, but it's like him being him being in a situation where him saying, you want that poodle? You're gonna get that poodle. Straight up and down, straight left, straight right. And the icing on the cake is, you have to have some serious confidence to come on a song without no auto-tune and nothing and just start going, you gonna get it, baby. You gonna get it, baby. I'm not exaggerating. That's exactly how he did it. So yeah, big up to this very, 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 very interesting and cool song. I'll allow it. But then now we have track 10, which is the end song, Kintsugi. And this is one of those gospel hip-hop beats, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. And I don't know, the mixing on this shit is kind of a bit off, but the beat is sick as fuck. So it make up for that, and most importantly, this is the one song where Crime actually talks about some shit. And this is like the equivalent of his version of Ghostface, All That I Got Is You, done in the way that only he can. And if you live the struggle, then you can relate to this. If you've had family members with addiction, then you can relate to this. This is a great ender. And I know the CRIMEAPPLE projects are consistent, but another thing I want to point out about them is that they know not to overstay their welcome. They're the perfect length, and this is yet another example of that. 10 songs, and besides what I said, which is subject to, my opinion about the one song, I love the hell out of this album. And the thing is, I think there's a lot of room for growth and improvement. So this is exactly why I'm about to give it a score that is not as high as you probably think it would be based on what I just said. And that score is 4 canes out of 5. Definitely recommend and then some. Go get this album. Support this dude. He knows what the hell he's doing. He's a fan of hip hop. You will love it. I love it. So you have to love it. You better love it. Anyway, you done know. Thanks for checking out this review. Big up CRIMEAPPLE. I have spoken. Where the fuck is the phone?
Stop recording video.